What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another day in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. Today in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with some Lolth. I can't help but laughing. Like, it sounds like Lolth. Lolth. How do you guys pronounce Lolth? Like, let me know in the comments down below how it is that you have, figured out the best way to pronounce this Planeswalker. But this is Lolth deck. I feel like, honestly, this deck is the exact same thing that we used to play with, pretty much, with Professor Onyx, and all we've done is trade out Professor Onyx for a Lolth. And actually, a lot of people are running the exact same thing, and they still run Professor Onyx in the deck. I wanted to really showcase this card in particular and try and build around it and see where it takes us. So here's my Lolth deck, and so far so good actually. For those of you who are avid followers and know that I often post my decks on either hub ahead of the time, would have seen this already sitting there on my channel for quite a while, or my either hub profile for a couple of days now. And then I ended up getting sidetracked and doing all the other things that we did in the last couple of days and forgetting about this deck. But tonight, if I need to be perfectly honest, my mother-in-law is here and my father-in-law is on his way, and we're going to have dinner and all this kind of stuff. So I have been asked to kindly, by my wife, when the wife is talking, we need to get walking. And so I want to, basically she asked me to just record tonight's video and then upload it later, and I was like, look, I prefer streaming, so can I please just get it out of the way now before we head out for dinner, and then I'll upload while we're out and about. She said, okay, fine. So here I am. It's a lot earlier than my usual streaming schedule, but c'est la vie. So, SpiderPests, Lolth, Spider Queen, Witherbloom combo deck. What are we running? I'm going to do the usual thing and just explain a little bit about the choices that I made, why it is that I'm running specific cards, and then we can come back at the end of the video and discuss, whether the choices I made were the best ones, changes that we would like to make to the deck between now and then the final either hub copyable, copy-pastable version of the deck that ends up going up with this video on my channel will be the best one that I have found to work best right now. So, one drops. We've got 4 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst. I feel like I've been saying a lot of that lately, but it has become, in my opinion, it's better than Power Word, because that doesn't hit angels, dragons, demons, like most of the important things that you want to be removing so it ends up so often being a dead card in your hand. So Bloodchief's Thirst is sort of picking up the slack in standard 2022 play queue and makes up for the fact that we do not have shadows. Beg your pardon. What's the card I'm looking for here? Heartless Act. The other one is the 2 mana that only kills 3 drops in Planeswalkers and creatures that are mana value less than 3 of Eliminate. We do not have Eliminate either. So this has really picked up the slack since then. Bloodchief's Thirst, 4 copies, must have in any control deck that's playing black. looking forward towards rotation in September, but also if you're playing standard 2022 play queue, then ahead of the time, the same problem. Next up, as far as one drops, we have an MDFC, a modal dual-faced card. Valentin, the Dean of the Vein. Legendary Vampire Warlock. That's a 1/1 with Menace and Lifelink. And if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, you may pay 2, and if you do, you create a 1/1 black. So as long as the Valentin is on the board and you kill something, it becomes unresurrectable, unrecursable. It gets exiled. And if you happen to have 2 mana left open at that point, you will be triggered. You will get the option in Arena to create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. But the cool thing about running this card, of course, in most MDSCs is that they are modal. So at some times in the game, it will be better to play Valentin as a 1 black, 1 drop. But later on in the game, of course, they're all legendary, so you cannot then drop a secondary one. You can drop Lizette instead for 4 mana, which does some great things in this deck herself. So more about that in a second, but Valentin is an incredible card in my opinion. Really, really good card. Next up, we have the new Village Rites, Deadly Dispute. It costs an extra mana, but it's still instant speed, and you're still doing the same thing. You need to sacrifice a creature, but this has the extra flexibility of, if you do not have a creature to sacrifice, you can also sacrifice an artifact, and then you still get the same payoff as Village Rites in that you draw 2 cards. But in this case, you also can create, or not can, you will create an additional treasure token. So Deadly Dispute, loving this card. Next up, in our 2-drop slot, it's kind of the glue between 1 and 3. We don't have much happening, between the here and then. So we trying to either go and fetch something with the learn ability that's going to help us get to turn 3, turn 4, or sacrificing a pest or some such like with Deadly Dispute to get additional value and card draw out of that body. So turn 2 is relegated to either learning or drawing cards and creating treasures with Deadly Dispute and Hunt for the Specimen. Turn 3, a underplayed card in my opinion, Blex, the Vexing Pest. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders you control get +1/+1. And when Blex, the Vexing Pest, dies, you gain 4 life. So no matter what, as long as this hits the battlefield, you're going to get value. You're going to pump up your pest, you're going to pump up your bats and stuff. Okay, in this particular deck's case, we only have spider tokens that are being generated by Lolth, and we have pests. So there's already 2 creature types that we're going to be seeing frequently within this deck that Blex pumps. So Blex, incredible. And because it's legendary and you might be drawing multiple copies of it, it is an MDFC. Once again, that flexibility. We don't always want to be casting Blex itself. We can oftentimes use the other side of Blex, which is search for Blex, and that means we can look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put any number of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard, and you lose 3 life for each card you put into your hand this way. So it can be very, very bad if you read in terms of life, in terms of health. Like if you just take 2 or 3 of the cards that you need off the cards revealed or to you by Search for Blex, that's going to be 3, 6, 9 damage that you take just to make sure that those cards remain in your hand. So just be careful with this. I think in the majority of games, the majority of cases, the front side of the MDFC with Blex is what you're really aiming for, but just bear in mind that you do have the other side of the card, which can act as some pretty good scry / card draw at sorcery speed. So yeah, that's Blex. Then of course Sedgemoor Witch, the 3-drop rare human warlock, 2 and a black, that has menace and ward. And the ward ability in this particular case means that if they do target it, they need to pay 3 life. So it's similar in a sense to the Bone Crusher Giant. When you were targeting Bone Crusher Giant with, let's say, Heartless Act, you would take damage. It's the same with Sedgemoor Witch. So you can sweep a Sedgemoor Witch with a Doomscar. You can sweep a Sedgemoor Witch with a Blood on the Snow. You can sweep a Sedgemoor Witch with a Fear of the... Oh my goodness, what's the card I'm looking for here? Crippling Fear. But if they are targeting your Sedgemoor Witch, they need to pay 3 life to get her off the battlefield, which is great. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a removal target. You might oftentimes play Blex first, then the Witch, or anything else. You know, you might even have upwards of 2 or 3 different creatures on the battlefield, and your opponent is always going to make sure that that removal that he does either draw or top deck or have already in hand is going to be targeting the Sedgemoor Witch, because they're scared of it, and you know, they should be, because it's an incredibly good card. So every time that you cast a spell or copy a spell, you create a 1/1 black and green Pest. So this can be a pretty good card in that what I've been doing this, and I did so last night as well in the Warlock class lesson video. You can cast Crippling Fear. Okay, so you're casting an instant or sorcery, so it goes on the stack. That triggers the Magecraft on Sedgemoor Witch, so you create a Pest. Then you select humans as the type, or Warlock if you have Valentin in play, or human if you have Lizette or Dean of the Root in play. So no matter what permutation of actual creatures you have in play, there is a Crippling Fear that you can cast, which will not target your most important ones. And then you cast Crippling Fear, creates another Pest, you select Warlock or Human, so it wipes the field of anything that is toughness 3 or less, except for your Sedgemoor Witch, but you gain an additional point of life because you've created a Pest the moment you cast Crippling Fear. I hope that makes sense. Next up, so running a lot less removal than usual in this deck. We're really trying to just go for the removal that is available in the... Let's do this, because last night this was a problem. We were not running enough Necrotic Fumes, so dropping a Containment Breach, going up a Necrotic Fumes. The removal is just Crippling Fear, and so there's only 6 removal spells. And Bloodchief Thirst. Okay, so there's 10 removal spells in the deck. That's pretty damn good. Okay, but the whole point of the deck is we're trying to, cast Lolth and do the Lolth thing. She's a weird planeswalker because she comes into play with 4 loyalty. You -3, you create 2 spiders. If you chump block with the spiders, if you sack the spiders, whatever the case may be, you've now gone back up to 3. Because you start with 4, you -3, you're left with 1. But she gains a loyalty counter for every creature you control which dies. So let's say you chump block or whatever, they sweep the field, whatever the case may be, you lose those 2 spider tokens that you've just created with her. You've left with 1 loyalty, you now go back up to 3 loyalty. So you cannot then -3 again. You need to have at least 4 loyalty to -3 with Lolth, so that you don't actually lose Lolth herself. So bit of a weird one there, but it was definitely done to balance things out, because if it had been any other way, it would definitely be a lot more busted. But if we can get it to the point where we're -8ing with Lolth, then things get really interesting. The whole point of this deck, not the whole point, the magical moment when things just go crazy, is for us to -8 with Lolth, get the emblem, which says that whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by one or more creatures you control, if that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. So if you're swinging in, and he's got even blockers, with, let's say, 5 or 6 spiders and whatever, pests, essentially, pests and spiders, and you only manage to, through all their blockers and everything else that they whip out at you, get through for 1 point of damage. Once the end of turn happens, whenever an opponent, okay, no, not even at the end of turn, instantly at end of, what does it say here? Whenever an opponent is, so no, instantly the moment that it happens, you swing in with 5 1/1s. They manage to block 3 of them. 2 of them get through for 2 damage. Lolth will automatically trigger and deal them the remaining 6, which is the difference between 2 and 8. I hope that makes sense. So I think that the way Lolth is supposed to be played, other than just getting your opponent to scoop because they're worried that she's going to finally pop off. But if somebody's playing along and curious and trying to see where this is going to go, then hopefully we'll be able to get it off during the games. But essentially, you want to have a big board of very small creatures that 1 or 2 of get through at least every turn, and that you've chipped them down to something that makes them feel a little bit nervous before that even goes off. And that's what the whole deck is built around. We're trying to like control the board, chip them down a tiny bit, make sure we have a lot of pesty blockers until we can get the -8 off on Lolth, at which point, as long as even a single point of damage gets through their blockade, straight away they're going to be losing the remaining 7 or the remaining 6 points of damage. So, yeah, I think I've just over-explained myself on Lolth, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And then, similar to yesterday's deck with the Warlock class, I'm oftentimes now finding myself running 2 copies of Harness Infinity in all of my Witherbloom decks, because there's very little card draw. You get to a certain point where you're top decking. If you top deck this in the late game, you can wait till your opponent's following end step. You leave all your mana untapped. At that point, usually by the time you have the 7 mana necessary to cast this spell, you have got a pretty full graveyard as well. You can cast this on their end step, swap your entire hand, which at this point is either nothing or very little of nothing, with your graveyard, and you untap and begin your turn with a massive hand and all your mana available and everything, and that usually wins the game. And it's a great way to pick and choose the best things from your graveyard and make sure they come back to your hand in the mid to late game. And so I'm playing Harness Infinity more often than not in most of my decks. I hope you can agree with me that it's actually pretty damn good. So that's the deck. Nothing special. Lawless Spider Queens, Pesty vibes. We're running 8 swamps, 8 forests, 6 forests, 4 pathways, 4 snarls, 2 campuses. Kind of the standard setup since the release of AFR. And without further ado, let's jump into the games. Before I do so, though, if I could just kindly ask all of you that have not yet done so to kindly consider subscribing to the channel. It would really mean a lot to me. I've recently broken that 80,000 my ass, 80 subscriber mark, which is huge for me. It's huge. I'm so proud of myself, and thank you all so much to those of you who have brought me to this point. Of course, I'm trying my hardest to make a much bigger breakthrough than that. What I would really like to obtain is 100 subs by the end of this month, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. All I'm saying is, if you like this content, if you like this silly mug, consider subscribing to the channel. and liking and leaving some comments down below and hitting the bell notification icon. Boom! That nonsense is out of the way. Let's jump to the games. Hoo-yah! Hello. Sprightly 5150. Chops. Look at this. Look at this. My goodness. It's not a bad hand. My mouse just gave up on me. My brand new, beautiful Logitech mouse just died. So I'm using my touchpad on the laptop, which is, it's not ideal. It's really not ideal. Hopefully none of this plays. Opponent taking a sweet time. The cool thing about Valentin, and they obviously did it on purpose, is that turn 2, if you have Mortality Spear in hand, they have at most, no matter what game you're playing, have played a 1-drop creature. So because Valentin has Menace, you can obviously get through. It has lifelink, so you gain 1 life, and it reduces the cost of Mortality Spear down to 2, which makes it just an absolutely 100% better version of Heartless Act. So keep that in mind. Oh, just put I'm getting some bad notifications on YouTube. Sorry guys, just making sure that the signal is as good as it can be. Banishing this. Okay with that. Probably Angels, which is, by the way, the deck that brought me over the finish line as far as Mythic is concerned this month. If you haven't seen that video already, I highly recommend that you go check it out. It's on my channel. And yeah, CGB also made a really good version of that, slightly different from mine, but I think mine's better, honestly. And I highly recommend that if you're trying to grind best of 1 standard 2022 to Mythic before the month ends, that you attempt that deck, because it's really, really quite good. I'm almost certain that the opponent is thinking about a Paulo Vitor Damo de Rosa card right now, or a couple of like a double cast. Yes. Okay. Going for the zombie thing. Bye bye. Unfortunately, we don't have the 2 mana available to. Oh, top deck city. Make some black spider tokens with 2/1 reach and menace. Banishing Birth, Banishing Verse on the Lolth? Or are you out of those? We need to watch out for those. I mean, there's very little we can do as we're not running any counters, but, you know, it would suck if they got rid of our... Nice. Means we can -3 again.
And we will slay our enemies. I will get what I want.
The circle. The land.
And dead.
White and black don't have any hasty guys at all. Okay, that's okay. That's doable.
And my power is for annihilation.
Come on, mate. Really? Really? There's nothing worse than just, like, man, double land draw, back to back. What an ass. Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh yes.
Are you guys seeing this? Yeah, let's just draw land forever. What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit. Cannot believe we just top decked another land. What the fuck is going on? Are you kidding me? Another Doomscar. No. Oh, at least you lose 3 life. What a joke. Yeah. It's just land, buddy. It's just land. Don't worry. All I've got is lands. Ah! Are you kidding me? Are you people watching this? What the fuck, man? Yeah, mate. Yeah. You, of course, got 4 humiliates in a row, and I got 7 lands in a row. Watch me top deck another land. Ah, something slightly different. Nice. Very nice little play there. I have a fresh hand. The opponent's only got 2 cards.
My children drench their do what I demand.
Not bad. That was great. That was a really good little turn there.
A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Another Doomscar. I still haven't really gotten the Lolth to do what it is that she's supposed to do. Must be.
My power is for annihilation. Do what I demand.
Nice. Yeah, my God, I get it.
Go on, run, but we will catch you. Come closer, little thing, that I may see better. Aren't I the generous one?
Sure, dude. Top deck, always exactly what you need, right?
My words are for ambitious minds.
No campuses? No campus. It'd be nice to scry.
I'll tell you a secret. Aren't I generous?
Oh baby, that's a nice win. That's gonna be pretty nice. For some reason, my YouTube is not showing my chat. Just want to quickly refresh the page so that I can get the live chat. Half an hour in, we've got another half an hour to go. So far, so good. 1 win, 1 loss. I'm pretty excited. I wanna actually get some good, solid wins in. Colossal Squib. 71% mythic. Holy crap. You must have had a pretty bad run of things, my dear fellow. Imagine if Bloodchief's Thirst was instant speed. Would have gotten a rare rating, at least. Foretells. Okay, we definitely need environmental sciences. We need our third land here. a Cererac, the Arch Lich. There's a little top deck land action. Keep up the pressure. Down to 15, we're on 21. If they sweep now, we gain 5 life. A Cererac. He's really trying to do the venture thing. Going for the like pretty bad one so that he can get through the dungeon quickly. I have not yet chosen Oubliette myself. On to 9. Not bad. Not a bad little, you know, I mean, I think they're waiting for that second white source, that blue star. They complete the dungeon. Lolth.
You reek with terror. A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Gain a life, and I gain some loyalty on my Planeswalker, so quite happy with this. I honestly felt like when I first read the dungeon cards and they were talking about the Atropal, I was expecting a image. This looks like a weird, I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, nothing against Nicholas Gregory, but... Oh, baby! 2 in a row! Yeah, that Atropal looks horrible. The art is good, objectively, but it's not... Yeah, you know what I mean. It could have been better. Sitting on 38 minutes. We've got at least another 20 minutes to go on stream. I think we can fit in at least another 3 games, maybe 4, if we can get a nice couple quick ones. Playing against a fellow called Tupi Guaxinim. Tupi Guaxinim. That's a great opener. Very little as far as 1-drops go, but yeah, that's a good opener. I like that. Double Sedgemoors. Selesnya counters. We can select warlocks or humans because this is a core cleric, not a human cleric. Double human. I mean double core. Probably should do the Crippling Fear. Although double pesting is where to go about things. You know, save that Crippling Fear for a later stage. If we cast Crippling Fear now, we're gaining 4 life. Because we'll get the Sorcery Magecraft trigger off of the Sedgemoor, which we have 2 of in the play. Which means we get 2 more Pests when we cast Crippling Fear. And then we will select Human or Warlock and wipe. Well, it won't wipe the rest because of the Spirit of Life, so we're probably better off. I think this is a slightly underplayed, undervalued card. Especially now that we have such problems with the mana base. It's coming back. Snow. And this is one of the snow cards that deserved more play than it probably should have gotten. 4 mana for a big ass. Bear Spirit is nothing to be scoffed at. Oh no, no. Alright, that's okay. Chill wins done. It's crazy that that thing has 4 toughness. So it's only the what's his name? That. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad. That is really bad. Okay with that. It's not a bad turn there. 6 damage to the face. We're on 25. We can drop a Lolth next turn. Put up some blockers. Quite like that. 1 Skyclave. That means you're losing an additional 3 damage. 3 life. That's not bad at all. Even though I hate Skyclave. You're going for the 4 damage, even though you could have blocked my Sedgemoor next turn. That's a nice little card to get at this point of the game. A little restock action.
Envy the strong, for they can. I will cull the weak.
Let's keep the pressure up. I don't need those blockers. You know, they're on less than half life than we are, so that's a great bit of a aggro play there. Unfortunately, they're running Faceless Haven, which is a blocker, of course. Also, don't ever forget that. It can be activated on their attack phase, but it can also be activated on your, you know, attack phase as a blocker. So, they're going for the attack version. Everybody swings for the Lolth. That's okay, I've got another. If they all swing for her, I shall be waiting with bated breath. I have another in hand. Little did you know. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible.
By my beauty. Subservience will be rewarded.
Seeker's Chariot. You can copy this 4/4, which is not good at all. We can block the Chariot. We can block everything. It might even just not go for the attack, which would be ideal. Just pass the turn, buddy. Pass the turn, please. No, he's going for the attack. Okay. Bye-bye Faceless Haven. Doesn't have another, so that's pretty good. Surprised he did that, honestly. I would have gone for the full swing if I were him. What's he gonna teleport? The Ladiasika. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Hopefully we can top deck a land. Yes! We can do that. Oh no, 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 no. I was hoping we'd be able to do the double. Still. Bye-bye. That's really nice. That's great. If they use the teleportation circle on the Skyclave apparition, we do get a 3/3 back. We do. Oh, what kind of a top deck is that? Biggest crock of shit ever. How can we win this? How can we win this? He's gonna go for our secondary Sedgemoor and drop another 3. That's one way we can win this.
Go, my children.
Oh baby.
Power is for annihilation.
That's nice. That's a nice little setup we have there. And we have enough mana for the Harness Infinity. That's not good. Teleportation circle on the portable hull. Oh, not even. They keep giving me, you know, weird. What's it called? An illusion token. So I'm okay with that. I'm gonna get rid of you once and for all.
What I demand.
That's a nice board we have there. Man, I've never taken this deck this far into the game. It's going to be interesting to see how the late game plays out against a Seeker's Chariot. Ay. Let's get rid of that.
My children will take care of you.
So he's representing 16 life. I think we just attack. Next turn, it might be the way to go. Try and get rid of... Right.
My hatred lives.
He has to block a lot of things, or he dies. Three straight wins in ranked, eh? SpiderPests doing its job. I'm pretty stoked about that one. Not bad, not bad. Lucky Hat doing its job. Everything's performing. Okay, we're sitting on 51 minutes on the stream. I think we can quite happily do at least one more game before I call it a night. Right click or hover over card during. Thank you all, Captain Obvious. Kim Pot. It's a bit of a weird hand, eh? It's a much higher. This is the highest I've played up against Mr. 96 here. Come on, buddy. So annoyed by my mouse just dying on me like that. It's really quite bad. Okay, definitely Silver Quill, Killane. Might be Magecraft. Laka. Bye bye Mortality Spear. If I were you. No? Alright. Osmos. Surely you know that I can get rid of that by just playing a white Mortality Spear on it. Maybe it was a bit of bait, but that's the type of bait I like to take. We do not want to have them gaining and drawing at all. Hit a Valkyrie, baby! Off you go, Mr. Eradicator. Ooh. Burning Rune Demon. When Burning Rune Demon enters the battlefield, you may search your library for exactly 2 cards not named Burning Rune Demon that have different names. If you do reveal those cards, an opponent chooses one of them. Reveal them and put that card into the hand and the other into your graveyard. Then shuffle. I wonder what he will be presenting us with. Pretty curious, actually, because yeah, whatever. We have any? Yeah, no, definitely. Okay. Repeat. An opponent chooses one of them. Put the chosen card into your hand. So let me choose the Crippling Fear. Did not need a land there. Thank you very much. The amount of lands that we're drawing is suddenly too many for some freaking reason. I hope you guys cannot hear this fan blowing like crazy in the background. Bye-bye, demon boy. Oops. Vanishing burst or something. He's probably thinking to himself, like, yeah, poor assembly worker. Come on, man. Really? Really, really? Cannot believe this mouse just died on me. For no reason whatsoever. What in the absolute fuck is going on with this deck, man? How much flooding do we need to go through before I can actually draw a freaking relevant card? Woo! There we go. I'll do, donkey. Here comes Vanishing first.
Darkness will swallow
No?
a gift in exchange for loyalty.
Just as bad? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, sure, land. We needed that, didn't we?
Under my tutelage, even you can master death.
If I pop deck another land, I'm gonna spook.
There has to be an answer here.
I'm just warning you ahead of time. At least. Here comes the Faceless Haven.
Let's go.
Yep, it's probably time to scoop. Don't know what card is going to get us out of this, but well, that might be it. Never give up. Never surrender.
Anyone needs me, don't.
Goose rubber. When it chooses one of them, put the chosen card into your hand. Okay. So I gotta choose the worst one. It appears the mouse is shining. Cannot believe we just lost that. Like, my mouse just died. How's that? I turn it off, the light still stays on. Ah! Aha! Okay, we choose one that I want to go into their hand. Sure, keep another onyx. But,
I just want to get in, get out, and finish the game.
bye-bye. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I need to call it a night because I have things to do. But thank you all so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. Honestly, like I'm so blessed that there's 81 people on this planet that actually want to watch my YouTube channel. And you know, get inspired and build some new decks based around the decks that I come up with. So I'm so blessed, and thank you to all of you who do follow and subscribe and like and comment and all that good stuff. And for those of you who don't, if I could ask you to kindly do all of those things, that would be even more amazing. Yeah, I will be coming back at you tomorrow with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.